Jets fans, a trade storm is brewing in New York. With the deadline approaching, the entire NFL is watching what Aaron Glenn and GM Darren Mougey will do next. Will the Jets really trade away stars like Breece Hall or Jermaine Johnson? Or is this just smoke before a major rebuild? Let's break down everything, the rumors, the numbers, and what it all means for the future of the New York Jets. But before we get into it, if you're a die-hard Jets fan, make sure you're subscribed to Jetstream News. We're your go-to source for daily engaging content on all things. Help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers this offseason by hitting that subscribe button now. Welcome to the Jetstream News Channel, your New York Jets news channel. Here you will find fresh news, and to follow everything, don't forget to subscribe. Today, only 20.2% are subscribed to our channel. Help us by sharing so that the news reaches many more people. Let's go to today's news. The 2025 season hasn't been kind to the Jets. After another rough start, Aaron Glenn's squad is once again under the microscope. The offense has struggled to find rhythm, and the defense, despite flashes of brilliance, has been inconsistent. With a record that doesn't reflect the talent on paper, questions have begun to rise inside Florham Park. The front office, led by GM Darren Mougey, is now evaluating everything. And as the NFL trade deadline approaches, the conversation has shifted to two key names: Jermaine Johnson, one of the defense's foundational pieces, and Breece Hall, the explosive running back who's been both a blessing and a dilemma for the team's cap management. At the same time, Michael Carter II's name has appeared in trade talks, while Jarvis Brownlee Jr. has emerged as a surprising defensive standout in the secondary. Let's start with Jermaine Johnson, the player who has arguably been the heart of this defense. When he's on the field, the numbers speak for themselves. The Jets allow just 2.9 yards per carry on designed runs. When he's off the field, that number jumps to 4.4 yards. That kind of impact is rare. Johnson doesn't just rush the passer. He sets the edge, anchors the run, and brings leadership that the locker room desperately needs. But here's the dilemma. Johnson's contract is coming up, and it won't be cheap. Analysts estimate that his next deal could be in the $20 to $22 million per year range, similar to second-tier elite pass rushers. The Jets' projected cap space for 2026 sits around $92 million, ranking 6th in the NFL. But when you factor in Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner's backloaded contracts, things get complicated. Mougey and Aaron Glenn need to ask themselves, is Jermaine Johnson part of the long-term core? Because if they decide not to pay him, they could get serious trade offers right now, possibly a second and fourth round pick combo. Still, trading him would be a huge risk. Without him, the defense could collapse, undoing months of progress under Glenn and defensive coordinator Stephen Wilks. Johnson may not be in the elite tier of Nick Bosa or TJ Watt, but he's right below that. A top 15 edge rusher who brings consistency and toughness every single snap. Then there's Breece Hall. When healthy, Hall is electric, one of the most dynamic running backs in football. But his situation mirrors the one that many great backs have faced. Huge talent, limited shelf life, and a tough market value. Sources around the league, including Diana Russini and Ian Rapoport, have reported that teams have been calling the Jets about Hall, and that Kansas City Chiefs have shown particular interest. It's easy to see why. Patrick Mahomes' offense has been explosive again, but lacks a true home run threat in the backfield. Adding Hall could instantly make the Chiefs the Super Bowl favorite. From the Jets' perspective, however, it's a painful but understandable move. Aaron Glenn knows that New York is in a transition phase. Trading Breece Hall for high draft capital could accelerate the rebuild, giving the Jets flexibility to fix their offensive line, improve wide receiver depth behind Garrett Wilson and Xavier Worthy, and invest in a young quarterback if needed. Still, there's the emotional weight. Hall is beloved by fans and represents the promise that the Jets have been chasing for years: explosiveness, excitement, and hope. Letting him go would hurt, but it might also be necessary for a true reset. While the spotlight is on the big names, Michael Carter II has quietly become a talking point in trade circles. Reports suggest that the Jets have received inquiries for the versatile corner, possibly in exchange for 6th or 7th round picks. That's not much, but given the emergence of Jarvis Brownlee Jr., it's understandable. Brownlee has been phenomenal, aggressive in run defense, sharp in coverage, and playing with the kind of confidence that has impressed both Glenn and defensive coordinator Stephen Wilkes. His instincts and physical style have allowed him to take over the slot position seamlessly, pushing Carter into a rotational role. So if a late-round trade offer arrives, don't be surprised if the Jets pull the trigger. For a team that needs every draft pick it can get, it's all about the long-term rebuild. For Aaron Glenn and GM Darren Mougey, this is a defining moment. Both know that the Jets can't keep patching holes year after year. The roster, while talented at the top, lacks depth and consistency. They've already made solid moves, trading for Harrison Phillips to bolster the defensive line, bringing in Will McDonald IV as rotational support, and trusting rookies like Brownlee Jr. to develop. But to truly turn the corner, they need to think long-term. That means making tough choices now, even if it means trading fan favorites. If the Jets can flip players like Hall or Carter into draft capital, they could build around a foundation of Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson, if retained, and Elijah Vera Tucker. Glenn's philosophy is clear: physical football, discipline, and a relentless pass rush. But he needs the front office to provide the right pieces and patience from the fans. Looking ahead, the Jets' roadmap is all about sustainability. If they keep Johnson and build the defense around him, they can create one of the most feared front sevens in the AFC. But if they choose to move him, they'll need to strike gold in the draft. Offensively, everything depends on whether the team finally stabilizes the quarterback position. With Aaron Glenn committed to a balanced, disciplined attack, and Tanner Engstrand coordinating a creative but run-first offense, the Jets could look to draft a dual-threat QB who complements the system. In the big picture, trading Hall and Carter could be part of a larger rebuild, one that sets up the team for a competitive window in 2026 and beyond. Jets fans, it's never easy watching your favorite players on the trade block. But the truth is, this team is at a crossroads. The 2025 season will define the direction of the next decade, whether the Jets double down on their stars or reset for the future. As the trade deadline approaches, one thing is certain: Aaron Glenn and Darren Mougey have tough decisions to make. Do they keep their core intact and hope for a turnaround, or cash in their assets and start building a younger, deeper roster? Whatever happens next, one thing remains the same. The Jets faithful will keep watching, hoping and believing that one day, the rebuild finally ends. Because if there's one thing we know about Jets Nation, it's that no matter the storm, they always come back stronger. And as always, go for it, Jets. Thanks for watching!